Good Wednesday morning. I'm Bill Caskey here. We do this every day. Every day we go live. And 2 days ago on Monday, I talked about this concept of the main event. And I didn't do anything on it yesterday, but I wanted to come back to you. So if you haven't watched Monday's episode, I'm going to just do a quick review. The main event is an idea that I have put in place with a lot of my clients. And what it is it's a digital event. Let's just call it a video, but it could be a webinar video recording that is a 10 to 15 minute rundown on you, your company, the kinds of problems you solve, the kinds of trends that you are observing in the marketplace. I'm going to go over some of the structure of it. But the whole idea is that this is the starting point. This is the starting point for your prospects. If they don't know you, if they're unfamiliar, or if they're somewhat unfamiliar with you, this is a great place for them to start. Now, it can't just be about you. It has to have some value for the customer, but it will, because I'm going to walk you through exactly what to do with it and how to structure it. So again, I want to make sure that we're using the digital assets that are available to us. This main event is going to become a big asset for you because it can be used in a lot of different ways. You might have a couple different main events. You might have one for a certain product line. You may have one for a certain consulting practice, or you may have one for cold potential customers, and you may have one for past clients. It depends on the numbers. But it's okay to have several, but I want to work on one today. And so I'm going to leave this, I'm going to put this in the, put a link to this document. And what it is part of our 2X group, which is our high achievers group that we do. We meet twice a month, and this is one of the many exercises that I take them through. I'm working with a couple of clients right now where we're creating these main events. I'm helping them create them. And it's a fun process, and I've seen what it can do to your business if you have one of these ready, a digital recording of, again, the top problems of the industry, and it's really going to help position you. Okay, so let's talk about what the structure of this is. And again, I will convert this to a PDF and make sure you see it. So intro, there's got to be some kind of introduction. Hi, I'm Bill Caskey. I'm really glad you're with me today. In this 15-minute video, here are the things that I'm going to share with you. And then you just basically go through exactly what they're going to hear and what they're going to learn. I think it's always okay and good to do a company intro. If you're not familiar with our company or somewhat unfamiliar, let me give you 1 minute on who we are, what we do, how we started, why we exist. You can easily do a minute on that. I wouldn't make that 5 minutes. I just make it a minute. Step 3 is, what are the dilemmas that you typically see your prospects have? I don't want to call them pain points. I hate pain points because pain is not a point. Pain is an overwhelming feeling. It is not a point in time. But I don't even want to talk about pain in this. I want to talk about what are the dilemmas. Dilemmas are where you have a choice. You can go this direction, or that direction. Maybe it's a two-headed choice. Maybe it's three-headed. But dilemmas are, I don't know which one to take. Do I stay with my current situation, or do I change? Do I stay with my old equipment, or do I buy new? Do I buy used equipment, or do I buy new equipment? I mean, think about all the dilemmas your customers have, not just when it comes to buying from you or not buying from you, but just in their business. So I think it's important to cover 3 to 5 dilemmas in this video. Number 4, what's the squeeze? What are the things that will cause further pain if they don't get the decisions right? So if they decide to go in a direction that ends up not being right, what's the impact of that? Or what could be the impact of that? Where do they feel squeezed? I think that's an important part. Number 4, 5, what's the roadmap? What's the roadmap to the solution? You provide the vehicle that gets them from where they are to where they want to be. That's what you do. You don't sell, you don't convince, you don't persuade. You explain the vehicle. And you explain the roadmap on the vehicle is our value. That's going to get you. The roadmap is what is the path. What is step one on the path? What is step two? What does it look like to work with you? If you don't have that, and I had a call here last week, and the guy was somewhat familiar with me. It was a referral. It was a really good guy. We had a great conversation. And at the end, he said, well, how do you work? What does it look like to work with you? And I thought, that's probably something I should put in early. I didn't want to be presumptive by early in the conversation say, look, if you want to work with us, here's how it works, because we were deep into a discussion of his dilemmas and his problems. But I do think that here's how we work is an important part of this video, of this main event. So here's what it looks like. Here's how we work. And then a call to action at the end. Now, it depends on what your main event, your video is going to be used for. If it's brand new prospect, somebody who hasn't heard of you, maybe the call to action is a phone call. Maybe the call to action is another video. Maybe you've got a video where you go deep into some of the problems and it's maybe more professionally produced or not. It doesn't have to be. Again, I'm not for highly produced stuff because I think people want authentic. They want somebody just looking into the camera like this. You'd probably like to have a better looking person looking into the camera than me. But I think there's a value and a rawness to just looking into the camera and having a decent microphone and speaking. So you have to decide what your call to action is. Could be another video, could be an assessment, could be an audit, could be a face-to-face phone call, could be a download of something. Maybe you have a downloaded checklist and maybe you want to take this really slow before you go into the booking a call. Maybe there's another step in there, but you'll have to work through that. But I think if you do this right and you create this main event, you're going to find all sorts of uses for it. You're going to meet somebody in a line at the store. You're going to see somebody at a kid's volleyball game. I go to my grandkids' volleyball game and I met a dude and we had coffee, and I don't know if we're going to work together, but we got a plan and we're going to talk again. And so, but this allows them to partake of you, to get an experience of you that's a digital experience where you actually go through some important matters. You're going to find all sorts of uses for it. So I wanted to finish up main event. Tomorrow we're going to talk a little about, what are we going to talk about tomorrow? Leveraging your assets. That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. But I wanted to finish this up. So if you didn't watch Monday, go back and watch Monday. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. I'll see you Thursday. Bye.